Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, an JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I will be talking about everything and anything that catches our interest and or ire. We stream live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing trailers, talking about a bunch of upcoming RPGs that were announced over at the Sony State of Play. We'll be responding to any super chats that we get at the end of the evening, and I think that about covers it, actually. You did it. That's what we're doing today. And Baku, how are you doing today, man?
Splendid. I am doing splendidly, other than having to write an essay and finish it by midnight. Splendid. Give me 2 hours. I can crank it out in 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you've started it already, right? Well, yeah, we're gonna have a short show tonight. In that case,
no, I can do it in 2 hours. I just need to strap down and go.
Oh yeah.
Writing the docket today takes longer than writing that essay because we had State of Played, and that was the whole like 40 minutes that I had to sit down and like watch the thing and yada yada. But you know what? I went through it. It was pretty cool. We'll talk more about it. Later in the show. But yeah, how are things with you?
Oh man, it's been a pretty crazy week between, stuff at work, but also, did you know that I put out a Valentine's Day video this week?
No way. You put out a Valentine's Day video? Wait, for
Yeah,
what?
yes, I put out a Valentine's Day video. It was an unboxing of, it was an unboxing and also just like a brief, like, 1,000-foot view overview of the Trails Through Daybreak games. So primarily, though, in coinciding with the release of Trails Through Daybreak on Valentine's Day this year, I kind of leaned into the whole shtick, the whole gag, the whole joke that kind of says itself. Why did NISA release Trails Through Daybreak 2 on Valentine's Day? It's a public service to make sure that husbandos and waifus can have their time with the Trails fans. That obviously that's all. That's really all.
Okay.
So if you ever wanted to see an unboxing that also is just laden, just full to bear with all kinds of innuendo and sex jokes, then go watch that, because that's kind of like all it is. And it's kind of funny because like I'll just lean into it. I'll wear my little Trails garb and wax intellectual while pretending to drink wine or something. And
it's a
what
video.
though, it's funny because like it's one of those things where like it's not a I got a comment when someone said something like, oh, this was an excellent review. I'm like, I didn't say anything about whether the game was good or not. But I appreciate the thought. I think that they just mean
reviewing of the unboxing
of Daybreak. Oh yeah, I guess a review of the contents of the
review of the content inside.
All right. Well, that's for the better then. Yeah. Because I was just like, wow, my job as a game reviewer could be so much easier if I just start putting dick and fart jokes in all of my videos.
Maybe that's what the people want. Those things are more popular back in like the 90s and the 80s. And hey, these things are cyclical, right? So maybe fart jokes are back, right? I don't know.
Let's bring them back. Yeah.
No, that's not.
Dude, I'm not gonna be happy until I am slimed on Nickelodeon.
Oh no.
With the green slime specifically, okay, guys? Chill. Hey, did you know that the Sony State of Play happened?
Oh my God, yeah. Can you believe that?
You believe? I did watch it. I actually watched it. It happened when I was at work, but it was in between a couple of things, and I was just like, oh yeah, I guess the State of Play is today. So I clicked into it. I had kind of clicked at just the right time to be able to, like, there was like a half hour of stuff that had already happened.
Waiting.
and I had enough time that like I could skip all the stuff I didn't really care about, and then by the time that I was out of skipping stuff, it was like the last game, which is perfect.
Okay.
Because nobody should have to sit through the whole state of play.
No one should, but some people do.
Some people
Like-
have to, like Baku.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, Baku. I appreciate your sacrifice.
Okay, I won't lie. I have skipped some stuff, right? Because as soon as I hear gunshots, I'm like, "Oh, that's a shooter game." I just skip.
Oh man, but what about all of the? Actually,
But there's no
there's going to be some
timestamp,
people
right?
who are.
So-
There's going to be some people who are disappointed. I don't think we're going to be talking about the new Borderlands. There are some people who think
Yeah.
Borderlands are RPGs. I don't know.
It's
If-
it has
if they are-
RPG elements.
If they are RPGs, they're not the kind that I give a about. So, with that
You
said,
know,
yeah,
I only care because people care, kind of deal. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good franchise. That's nice, and they're doing the right
Yeah.
things.
good for them.
Good
I'm
for
glad
them.
for them. Yeah,
I'm glad for them. Yeah,
you
but
go,
I
you go, Borderlands.
personally, it's like Superb Owl. You know, like last
Yes.
Sunday. Yeah,
Yes,
it's a glorious event. It's sports, right? Yes,
You know.
go team.
yeah.
I'm rooting for
in,
your
in
team.
sportsmanship, it's so good. And I do really appreciate, by the way, the fact that even though our last video went out during the Super Bowl, it did gradually climb up in views throughout the week, and we really appreciate that, guys, because seriously, not only is that game looking incredible, but the interview itself that we had with Elman was just
Yeah.
so much fun and
Yeah.
and so in depth. You had a real, like, out of nowhere swipe from the left, emotional gut punch of a question. Like, I didn't know where it was coming from, but by the end of it, I was just like, well, anyway, so how about those quests and stuff?
I'm sorry to throw you off, man. I didn't know that was gonna throw you off.
Oh, I know.
I'll warn
It's-
you next time.
Oh no. Well, that's okay. I don't think either of us knew we were gonna go to
Yeah,
him
no.
talking about his mother. Like, that was, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, for those of
Yeah.
you who haven't seen or listened to that interview, go check it out because it's pretty deep, and I think that as far as the game goes, oh man, oh yeah,
We'll
it's
talk
gonna
more
be good.
about that
It's gonna
again
be so
later. There's some comments that we're gonna read later in the show.
Yeah,
From last week, and a lot of people had a lot of comments about Godshard Chronicles. So let's save that for later. We can
all right.
can geek out a little bit later. Let's start with the state of play. Are you
Okay.
ready?
all right, Baku, take the wheel.
All right. Well, let's talk about upcoming releases first. But this is also featured in the state of play, so we're gonna start there. The state of play actually happened on the 12th, just 2 days before Valentine's Day. And the first game that we're going to talk about from the state of play actually comes out this week. And you know what, Derek? A lot of people have asked me what is my most anticipated game of 2025, and I didn't really have an answer for them because I'm like, man, that's a lot of games. I can't just like on the spot give you an answer, but I think I know what it is now.
Yeah, I think you probably do.
Yeah, I know. I think I know what it is now.
Should we answer that by playing the trailer of it first?
Let's do it.
All right, let's check this out.
Yeah.
End the suspense.
Baku's most anticipated game of 2025. No one, surprising no one. At least I hope. Surprising.
By the way, everybody, we are doing some slightly different things here. How we're capturing the audio from the trailer. So if it's too loud or too quiet, please let us know.
Yes, please.
Ooh.
I had no clue. Who was I? I think I'm probably not a great person.
This is kind of gruesome.
English.
I mean, There's a chance I've been a
Well, he is in Hawaii, so he's
He has to
required
speak English.
to speak English now.
I'm not used to the English Majima, but for all of you, I will suffer the dub. Not that the dub is bad. The dub is quite good, actually.
Okay, I'll turn it up there, dude.
What matters to me is that I think you properly.
Oh, that's Matthew Mercer's voice actor there.
You read about in school. You know that you'll see when you're older stuff.
You got yourself a deal, Noah.
How about now? Is the volume better?
I'm busting
Yeah,
your
I turned it up a
That's a
smidge
promise
there, but I
between
want to make
men.
sure we don't drown ourselves out. Needs a little more
Needs a
boosting.
little boost.
200 years ago, pirates
All right.
buried a boatload of treasure, $1 billion worth, in the Palmyra Atoll.
I appreciate the
Different
feedback
groups,
there, guys.
they're after the
So,
same thing.
yeah,
And
this
the Pirates
game
Coliseum in particular can't be sitting idle.
looks
Well, there's
absolutely
money to make.
phenomenal.
Could be Atlantis wants to test our sea
So I'm
legs.
playing this day one.
Just in time to
Are
chug
ya?
the water.
Do you have to
This day
The
one.
disillusion's in full effect.
half a
Maybe
smidge
half
further?
a smidge more.
Yakuza who
You got
needs
it.
to show them a home.
All right, half a
We've been crawling
smidge
on our
dispensed
hands and
right
knees
there.
since it all went to shit under your watch. Answer for
Just
that
keep
one,
letting
Yakuza.
us know.
Let me pay this clown back for the nick he gave you. No matter who I am or where I come from. If
God,
I
that's
just
so
stand by
cool.
and watch, how can I call myself a man?
He was running away from a giant Indiana Jones metal ball.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So, for those unaware, Like a Dragon Pirates Yakuza in Hawaii, which is the full title of this game, takes place just after the events of Like a Dragon 8 and will follow Majima as the protagonist. And this spin-off will return to fully action gameplay, unlike the now mainline Like a Dragon games that's turn-based and more like the Like a Dragon Gaiden game.
Yeah.
With Kiryu. So we're back to action gameplay, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, yeah. So this game is gonna come out on the 21st. So it's this week, on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. If you are not sure about if you like the action gameplay, then you know what? I've been playing like Dragon 7 and 8. It's turn-based. I don't know about this action business. Well, the demo is out. So you can try the demo and see if you like, the action
Shoot.
gameplay. Yeah, I like action and turn-based, and I love this series. So whatever they throw at me, I'll play it. So yes, this is in fact my most anticipated game of 2025, and unfortunately not Daybreak 2. I know it's gonna disappoint a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah. When did that demo come out? Do you know?
Well, it's already out now.
Yeah,
so-
but when did it has it been out for like 3 weeks now, or like just
I
released,
have
or
no idea. I think it might have come out on the State of Play.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but it is out now. It should, or at least it should be out now. That's what I've read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
cool. So yeah,
it
that's
out.
coming out later this week. So that's
Yeah.
pretty dang cool.
and I will be streaming that game day one. As
That was
soon
my
as it
other question.
arrives, I am gonna stream that game. I was gonna go back to Metaphor. I was gonna stream Metaphor, which is the game that I started streaming back in December before I went to Southeast Asia. But yeah, no.
Yeah. I understand, and that's too bad. I mean, Metaphor is a wonderful game, and
Yeah.
I think that was, and I said this last year, that it was my game of the year, and I'm going to play through it at some point as well.
Yes.
I just have other stuff I got to do first too.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's just
I don't
how
want
life
people
goes, you
thinking
know?
that I don't think like Metaphor is good. I think Metaphor is great, in fact.
Yeah.
But you are stacking up against Like a Dragon, and no
You know-
game stacks up against Like a Dragon for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just not fair.
It gets a pass. I
Yeah,
get
it
you.
gets a pass. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the games that were newly announced over at that Sony State of Play.
Yeah. Or at least we have some news to it.
Well, yeah. Well, this is, I'll say it. This was news to me, but I also don't really follow a lot of stuff outside of the RPG sphere. So when Shinobi, the Art of Vengeance was shown off, I was, well, John was on the floor, really. It's been almost 14 years since the last Shinobi title, and Sega just gave us the release date for Shinobi Art of Vengeance. And this game is going to continue the series protagonist, or continuing following Joe Musashi.
Yes.
I just like how his name is Joe, who came to find his home village burnt to the ground and will seek revenge on the perpetrators. So let's pull up the trailer here because this is sick. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Theater mode.
I wasn't sure what I was looking at when I was watching the state of play. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool, little action game. Like,
I wasn't expecting a Shinobi game in 2025.
Look at the hand drawn though.
Yeah.
Look at
Who
that.
needs pixels at this point? I mean, I still like them. Don't get me wrong.
I like pixels, but ooh.
This is a compelling alternative.
Yes, it sure. Absolutely. This thing looks gorgeous.
Man.
So we knew that they're working on a Shinobi game some time ago when Sega was like, okay, we're gonna revive a lot of IPs. Just wait. We're gonna revive a ton of IP. They talked about like Crazy Taxi. They talked about Shinobi. They talked about a bunch of like Sega IPs that they haven't made games for a long time. They're like, just wait. Just give us a minute. In due time, we will share with you what we've been working on. And one at a time, they are slowly releasing these games. And Shinobi, this is Shinobi's turn. Sega's like, all right, here's Shinobi. You haven't had one in 14 years. You're welcome.
All right, get this. What if, and this is not going to happen, but just imagine for a minute that Sega releases some sort of, let's call it a Game Pass for Sega produced IPs. And it's available across multiple consoles, and it's called the Sega Dreamcast 2.
Oh god. I mean, you know what that sounds like to me though? It sounds like this is a subscription service kind of deal on top of subscription. And they have stuff like that in Amazon, right? Like if you go to Amazon, you can actually sign into other subscriptions through Amazon, like Prime, and then you can go into it and get like Crunchyroll in there. Or I don't think it's unthinkable as a business move for Sega to do something like that. I know you were trying to make the Dreamcast joke, but like honestly,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people want like a Dreamcast 2, but like what if it was a casting service, legitimately, like a streaming service? I mean, sure, maybe they shouldn't yet, because I don't know if the infrastructure there is low latency enough for that sort of thing. But like, I mean, if they have a lot of, let's just say they have so many IPs to draw from.
Oh yeah,
that I could say it. I could see it happen. Anyways.
And if you like it, you can buy it on a discount.
Yeah,
and own it forever, right?
Hey,
that'd be
Joe,
nice. Yeah.
Where are you going with that gun in your hands?
So the fact that his name is Joe. By the way, so this game came on like 1980 something, or
the original
like,
for like the Master
something.
System.
It's old. Like this game is
old,
and like it's probably 80 something. And I will share a little funny thing about that. You know how Joe Hisaishi is Joe Hisaishi, the guy who does like the Ghibli music. They like the name Joe because there's actually a Japanese first name, Joe. So it's like, it just feels like it's a it's an easy way to just have like an English name in your name.
It's kind of like the name Amy.
Amy?
Or Ami.
Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're just like, oh, okay. Well, we already have a name that sounds exactly the same. Spell a little different, but who cares, right? It sounds exactly the same. So phonetically. So yeah, let's just do that. So that's why Joe Hisaishi is Joe Hisaishi. And that's why they pick a name like Joe Musashi, because literally Joe is a name in Japanese.
Yeah, I know. And it's just funny because like, oh yeah, just a Joe Schmo. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, for people, I guess for people who aren't aware, I guess, like but yeah, Derek is cultured.
That's right. I mean, I think my Valentine's Day video proved how cultured I can be.
Extremely cultured. All right. Speaking of cultured.
Well, hey, hold on. I gotta say.
Right.
I gotta say, and I've been trying to, man, that this game's coming out 3 days after my birthday. And for everybody who doesn't know when that is, that's August 29th is when this is coming out for all modern platforms. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just,
no,
just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
The release date yet.
Baku, do you know where my P.O. box can be found? Just kidding. I'm just saying, you only have 6 months.
Cultured. Wait, no. Speaking of P.O. box, we have a new Sonic game.
Excellent segue.
Best segue ever.
Speaking of segues, you know what else has wheels?
Race cars, because this is a Sonic racing game called Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Let's just look at the game. I have to talk about this because Sega pays the bills, and you know, if we don't talk about it, Segatless is going to Lord Segatless is going to they're not going to like us. So
I think that I'm like maybe required on some level to actually tell people that we are in fact not sponsored by Segatless, and sponsored. Neither are they paying our bills. That's you guys. This is unfortunately, I have to admit, one of the games that I ended up skipping when I saw it come up. Just saying.
We're just playing it for you guys because I have zero interest in playing this game. Because like, I cherish my friendship with my friends. But
I'm just saying.
Care for your friends and you want an excuse to rid yourself of your friends, this might be a good one. But okay, you know what? Just because we're talking about this, let's talk a little bit about this. Well, this is a little fun compared to Mario Kart because you go into one of these races and what it does is you go through a gate and it teleports you to like a random stage. So you don't really know what you're going to get. So you know how like Mario Kart, you pick a track and that's the track that you race on. This is a little different. So 3 laps. Laps 2 sends you somewhere else, and then laps 3 sends you back, and then you finish the race.
Well, that's a neat gimmick, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's fun. They're doing something different. They're not just like, well, Mario did a racing game, let's do our own racing game. Even though I'm pretty sure that's the intention. Nonetheless, I mean, here's the part though.
Yeah.
I mean, if Sonic were to just get out of the vehicle, he could go faster than the vehicle, right?
Oh like, yeah, he could be cruising around at the speed of sound. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, why is he? Never mind. Maybe he's just lazy. He's like, I'm just gonna chill. I don't feel like running today. Yeah, that's the thing. Also, I think I just have to also say we have Mario Kart at home, so yeah, that's my main thought when I see this is like, if I show up to a friend's house and I'm like, hey bro, I brought I brought my kart racer with me. They'd be like, well, you know, wouldn't you rather just play Mario Kart 9 on? You guys want to play some Sonic,
right?
Sonic does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, I mean,
let's bring that back.
Yeah, sure. It's got the blast processing because it runs on something other than a Nintendo Switch, I guess.
It's well, speaking of Nintendo Switch, it's actually currently being developed for all modern platforms, so we could play this on the Switch. There is no release date.
How is it doing that then without an SSD? I thought in order to switch between like 2 concurrent worlds, you have to have an SSD or something. That's what my PlayStation 5 representative told me when I bought a PlayStation 5 when they showed off the Ratchet and Clank thing. They're like,
really?
Only an SSD can change worlds. Like,
did they really say that to you?
No, not to me. But but legitimately, that was like the selling point of like the PlayStation 5. Look, we have this NVMe drive installed, and look, here's something we're showing off that could never have been done on a PlayStation 4 because the hard drive technology just wasn't there.
Blah 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 blah.
I know, I know. So I'm like, real,
jeez,
really? Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So, anyways, yeah.
Speaking of digital,
Oh, do you want me to talk about this next one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
that's the segue right there. I got you.
you did it. Well done.
Yay.
Speaking of digital, I actually had a slightly different way I wanted to introduce this, and
go for it.
sorry to squander that excellent
All
segue.
my writing.
If you draw attention to the segue, it becomes even better. Did you know that?
Show me how it's done, sir. Go for it.
So this next one is a trailer that had the whole world for about 30 seconds collectively thinking, shit, am I gonna have to start caring about Digimon now? Let's check this out.
Yeah.
Shoot, could you hit the play button?
Playing.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's playing.
There we go.
Oh no, not an explosion. Oh no, not Bamco.
But legitimately, that was the first thought as I was watching this. Is like, as soon as I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is cool.
I'm like, Bamco, what are you
There's
up
something
to?
here.
Is this,
Yeah, what are you doing? This
what
looks
are you
awesome.
doing, Bamco?
And then like, oh my gosh, is this like Namco's
Oh,
Persona?
it's Akihabara.
Is this Namco doing like an Atlas?
The battle to
Oh,
alter
this is
destiny.
Bamco doing an atlas right here.
Oh my!
Embark on a
But
journey
instead of Persona,
alongside
you
gods,
have
heroes,
Digimon.
and monsters of bygone eras.
Wait a minute.
I know. I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool. This looks. Oh man, look at this.
Digimon.
And then she says
Wait a
Digimon. I'm like,
minute.
and here's where I go. No, this is so cool. Oh wait, no. Oh, you lost me.
I mean,
It's so cool. It's so cool. Oh no, you lost me again.
on Digimon and
Together.
Oh, look at
Persona
that. That's
just
kind of neat.
stands.
That's kind of
The
almost
story
cool.
of a bond that
It's
transcends
so
time.
conflicting. Like, do I? I want to like it, but it also it looks. I don't have any nostalgia for Digimon, and I'm sorry.
neither do I.
That's on me. I don't have any nostalgia for it. I don't really have any background for it. I never watched the YTV thing or Kids TV on Fox, whatever. Like I was watching Dragon Ball. I was watching other stuff when this was on. And
what Derek's trying to say is that he only watches the cool stuff, not this nerdy Digimon stuff. Bleh.
let me tell you,
Give me the spirit bomb.
true story. No, actually, I can't talk about that because I signed an NDA. So never mind. I can't talk about one. But
Cannot
I did
talk
actually.
about it.
I did turn down recently a sponsorship for something that ties into an anime that was pretty popular a while ago, and I'm just like, it didn't. I never liked it. I never got into it. I'm like, I don't think I want to pretend to like this in order to like make money or like try to like even I'm sure it would have been a fine sponsorship to have, but like, I don't
want to pretend to give a damn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't.
get that.
I can't. Like I could probably try to fake it, but I'm not an actor, and I'd feel really bad if it didn't click with me, and then I was obligated to like be like, oh yeah, guys, go check out this game. So anyways,
I mean, look, it's one way. It's one thing to act something out, but you have to like write the script yourself, and that's the part that's a little hard. You know, if someone wrote me something, yeah, I can just read it and just pretend to be whatever, and that's fine. But like, it's hard to write about something and pretend to be very passionate. That's a whole different thing.
now here's the thing. This game though, Digimon Digimon Story Time Stranger, that trailer looked cool.
It looks
It
amazing,
looked
though.
it looked
does.
so cool until the Digimon was on screen for me, and then I just lost. And then it's just like, okay, yeah, maybe not.
Can you pretend that they're just like personas? Like, can you pretend?
I don't
that
know.
they're
Can you
not?
pretend that Bugs Bunny is a persona? Because like I recognize it.
If I try hard enough, anything is possible.
Well, I will
so
say I could make it work for Kingdom Hearts. Why not Digimon, huh?
Oh, Kingdom Hearts doesn't work for me either. So
Does it
it's still
not?
a no for me. Yeah, no, never. I can never have a Disney the character in my RPG and for me to pretend that this is serious. I cannot. No, as soon as I see like Zimba, I'm like, yep, nope, goodbye. Or like Hercules.
Gosh.
I'm like, no.
Well,
no.
I'm sorry, guys. It seems like Baku has just a little too much darkness in his heart.
Darkness. I'm too edgy for this, guys. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we're just not
okay.
puny enough. But anyways, this looks good. And this this RPG monster taming elements game will have you traveling between worlds to prevent reality from collapsing in on itself.
Yes.
It's going to be releasing sometime in 2025 for PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC via Steam. And am I going to have to care now about Digimon? That's
maybe.
It hurts.
Let us know
I don't
if
know.
you guys care about Digimon in the comment section below. Is that a good segue? I think that's a good segue.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, let us know because we are going to read your comments later on in the show. So don't think that we've skipped your comments. We're just moving it to the latter part of the show. We can just relax and read some of your comments and just chat about it a little bit. Yeah, but dude, like, and I'm going to bring this up because, you know, you didn't read my script, but dude, they announced this thing 8 years ago.
Wait,
that's
what?
crazy.
Seriously? Yeah,
Yes,
I didn't read the script. I went off script.
Read the script. Read the script.
Sorry, Baku. I didn't realize Baku spent like 3 hours writing this script instead of his essay.
and then Derek just like, yeah, boring. Skip. No, but that's the only thing that I'll bring up is this thing was announced originally 8 years ago. Yeah.
Man.
And then a bunch of delays happen, and then they made Digimon Survive. They put that on top of this to give the team more time to work on this. They've been working on this for a while, which sort of adds more weight to all this. But it is still Digimon, so there is that.
Yeah.
Anywho, when is this coming out?
Well, yeah, it's coming out in 2025, and we don't really have an exact date though. So
yeah.
And I already
an
mentioned the
exact date.
consoles and everything, so I think we're all of that aside.
Yes. All of that aside, let's talk about the next one, which is called Lost Soul Aside. And we did cover this game some time ago when Sony announced a bunch of games as part of their they called it the China Hero Project, where they basically invest and try to provide resources to individual game developers in China to try to like kickstart their, or no, maybe not kickstart is the right word, but like maybe like nurture the next generation of like game developers, but specifically in China. Now, of all the games that were featured back then, some of them have already been released, but they're mostly like pixel art, granted beautiful looking. This one is by far the most ambitious looking, ambitious in terms of the style and gameplay. It doesn't help that it was started off as a solo developer project by a developer named Yang Bing. Now we're finally getting a release date, which is pretty cool. Yeah,
All right.
So let's take a look at this. Lost Soul Aside.
Let's.
Yeah. It starts off as a solo dev project. And now, I mean, obviously he didn't stay solo dev for long, but still, when it first started, when we first looked at it, it was just all him.
Our world. A powerful being.
Now he's got funding, he's got some backing.
There's definitely
And
something
when it seems
powerful
like
about a
things
solo
invaders.
developed game having such a strong
Dream
core.
Is this really just
But
a
it's,
dream?
I mean, wow.
My
it-
only hope.
There's no,
lies with you.
I don't know how much of this, what it looked like before it was more than just a solo project. But you can definitely
Oh.
tell that right now it's probably expanded in scope.
It's a
significantly.
heck a lot more polished, that's for sure.
Together.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's a whole lot of change to the main character. I mean, not aside from that just now, but like the main character, like this guy. I mean, this we haven't seen the girl before. We haven't seen this character before. We haven't seen a lot of these other
I
things
see
before.
great
Just the
power
main
within
guy.
you.
Yeah.
And it was like a very short like demo thing, and people bought into it.
So it's kind of like a proof of concept, but he probably wasn't a. I don't know. Do you think
This
he
is
was
a-
anticipating
Me be your vengeance.
maybe this happening?
Bleed in your
Was this like a here's
I don't think
my
anyone could, because here's the thing, like, and we talked about this earlier too, but like, I think
Wukong,
the success
yeah.
of Wukong has changed the way that investor looks at first player game development, because back then, if you want to look at countries and game investments and stuff, let's talk about East Asia, because that's the part that I know well.
Yeah.
Then give me your
You know,
power.
like Japan has always been about like, you know, what we know and love, right? JRPGs, all those fun stuff. Korea has a long history of making games, but they make either competitive or like MMOs.
Uh-huh.
They like and back then they focused on MMOs and they made good money. Like Nexon is MMO. Another company that made like what is it called? NC Soft, I think it's NC Soft. Like Soul and Blade, and that's MMO.
Didn't they Stellar Blade 2? They made. I mean, that's not an MMO, but that's also Korean, isn't it?
That's recent though. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
historically,
yeah.
I mean
Historically,
historically.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
and historically, China also worked on MMO, but then when Genshin Impact came
Yep,
out,
that was a
and
big deal.
obviously that's a big deal. They made tons of money. So then a lot of different companies try to follow suit and do their own sort of open world gotcha thing, which all flopped. Like all of them flopped.
Yeah.
all of
It's
them.
because they took the wrong message. They're like, "Oh, Genshin Impact did really well. What if we all
Yeah, what if we
made
did
a
this? Yeah.
what if we all did a gotcha Twilight Princess or not a gotcha Zelda basically. Not Twilight Princess.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. But
What
these
if we made
investments-
ours?
Yeah, what if we made ours? But these investments are all trends, right? And
Mhm.
when they saw the success of Wukong and Stellar Blade, all of a sudden they take notice and they're like, why are we investing in Japan when we can just invest at home? So they
Oh
did,
yeah,
right? And I think
that
Sony
does
was
make sense.
this is one of the better thing that Sony had did, which they sort of like implanted themselves into the ecosystem in China early
Oh,
through
yeah.
this China Hero project.
I remember.
So I think that's a good move as opposed to Concord. Had they blown that much money in this, not this game, but like in this effort, I think they would have been paid back like tenfold by now. All that's to say, number one, there's a lot of investment effort in single player experience games in China now. So expect to see more of these unless they start flopping left and right. Then that would be the end of that experiment.
yeah, yeah.
Number two, single player games are not dead. Surprise. Will you look at that?
Who would have guessed?
Don't you have a phone? Oh, eat those words. Anyways, this game is going to come out in May 30th. So there is an actual release date, which is exciting.
Good,
May
yeah.
30th, releasing on PS5 and PC. That's actually the surprising part, is that this is not a PlayStation exclusive. It's actually available on PC.
Nice.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I would love to see more great first player games from places other than, Japan and the collective West. Like, there are other places with good stories to tell. And by the West, I just mean like America. Like, I want to see more games from Europe too, and Australia.
Oh, man.
Other parts of the world, South America. Please, like, show me your talents and show me.
Oh,
your
they
love.
are. They
Yeah.
are working on it, bud. Trust me. I mean,
And
well,
when
we'll talk
we
about
hear
that a little
about
soon.
those- Yeah, no, and when we hear about those guys, we'll be sure to share some of the ones that we think are really cool. With
Oh,
you
we
all.
didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, we won't talk about it soon because you didn't include the trailer in this list. The
Which one?
of the one that they showed off of. Oh wait, was it there? It might not have actually at the state of play was. Dang it, I can't remember the name right now. 31.
33?
33. Yeah, Expedition 33.
They didn't show it there.
I thought they did, but I
don't
think I was
so.
wrong. I was thinking of yep, there was another game that looked like it for a second that I
There
mistook
was a
for
game
it.
that looked like it for a split second, but it's like a shooter game.
Yeah, you're right.
Or, well,
Okay, well
yeah.
anyways, that game is coming from Europe and that's going to show us a little bit of that storytelling action you're talking about, but
yeah.
yeah, speaking of other wild stuff, Capcom is coming out swinging wildly this year because
Yes.
with this highly anticipated Monster Hunter Wilds game, well, I mean, we've got a pretty brand new trailer here, and the release date is the latest entry. So, for this latest entry, rather. So let's check out Monster Hunter Wilds trailer. It's going to be on your screen here in a second. Look at that magic! I foretold that.
Ooh. Yeah, I've been watching some people play and stream the beta version, and that's a lot of glitches. But it is the beta, so
Yeah,
you
you
know,
kind of have to expect that.
yeah. So I'm no one is too mad at it, but they need to fix those.
I mean,
Like,
that's how you
missing
fix them
textures?
is you send them out and have people play test it and report all their
I
bugs.
respect it. I respect it. It takes a lot of guts actually to send a product out and just let the world hack at it.
Yeah.
But honestly, from a software development standpoint, that's the best way to test your product.
Yeah.
Send it out. as
The
soon as
hardest
you can.
steel is forged in very hot fires, right?
Yes. You know, don't let your ego trip you up. Don't be afraid of harsh comments. Send it out.
You're gonna sit and cry or get
Send
up
it out and let people rip it apart. Fix all the stuff, perfect it, and then officially release it.
Man, I wish I could get more into the Monster Hunter games. They just they just feel disjointed to me from like the perspective of someone who enjoys a plot thread that links a story together that gives you a reason to go and fight the monsters, right?
Well, I think the newer games are better about it. A lot better about it in terms of having a cohesive story.
Yeah.
Although, because I've watched people stream and play it, I don't play it myself. So secondhand knowledge there, but
Yeah.
I have seen more cohesion in the story for sure.
Because
Yeah.
if the Monster Hunter team tried their hand at making a Monster Hunter themed like Souls-like, oh man, that would be
You would play
incredible. Oh yeah. Like, and what I mean by that is, you know, use some of the same combat mechanics, the weightiness, maybe even some of like the just focus less on fighting the same damn monster 70,000 times in a row to get the materials that you were looking for, and like let me go on an adventure like killing new stuff, and like maybe these things are the boss fight. Maybe I can fight it again if I really want to, you know, like in Souls, but yeah, but like
I don't know which of us is worse.
I just want more connective tissue between the combat and less like I'm back at base, now I'm fighting a monster, now I'm back at base and I'm fighting a monster again.
Yeah,
Like-
I think they've been trying to work on that for sure.
Yeah,
because
I
I don't think
hope so.
that. I don't think that's a. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a limitation because of the way the game is designed. But they are working on it.
Yeah, I mean, and this is from like a purely like outsider's perspective. I know that the Monster Hunter fans who love Monster Hunter would be pissed if they actually did that. They'd be like, who the f- are you making games for? I'm the core fan base. Make games for me. But that's what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
well, that's cool. I want to get into Monster Hunter, but I can't. So make games for me.
Well, I mean, so when you're playing this game, like as you're going through the game, like there are stories in between, like cutscenes and stories in between that sort of ties your expedition and your situation to the monsters that you're fighting. So
Yeah.
it's not like there's nothing.
I know.
Like
It's just
it was a lot thinner before, but
it's the gameplay loop specifically that I can't I can't hack that, so to speak, because like I already play hundred hour RPGs, and I'm not gonna be the kind of guy who just puts in 200-300 hours into a game that has me doing the same thing over and over, even or maybe even especially if that has to involve somebody else assisting me in that. Like,
well,
it's just,
chat
that's
says
just
Monster
not for
Hunter
me.
stories, but yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that, but Derek's also looking for maybe an action experience, more like Souls.
Yeah.
So
I mean-
like, yeah, what he's looking for is not quite, doesn't quite
Yeah.
exist. It's
Yeah,
somewhere in between Monster Hunter stories.
I mean,
and
if it did exist, it's probably made by From Software, so it's fine.
yeah, they do have that a hole on that whole thing.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good grasp on that situation, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anywho, so I will say this too. Monster Hunter is not really a game for me, personally.
I
but,
respect it. I respect
yeah.
the hell out of it, but it
yeah,
just ain't for
I
me.
watch people play it all the time. Like there's a lot of games that I don't play myself, but I like watching people enjoy the game. And I, for whatever reason, I know it's weird. Like, why would you watch a game that you don't want to play? It's precisely because I don't feel like playing it. I just want to watch people play it. I know, I'm weird. But I do like the series, and a lot of you guys do too. So that's why we want to make sure we're talking about this. So when is this coming out, sir?
I don't know. It's coming out on the 28th of November here in just a couple of weeks, actually.
Next week? No?
A couple
next week.
couple weeks. Because
Okay.
today's the 16th.
21st.
So-
okay, so 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
About 2
So-
weeks from now.
I mean, it's coming out on the 28th. So, yeah. So that's almost 2 weeks away. Coming to
Yeah.
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam.
Lots of crossplay, definitely.
Somebody in chat asked me if I would actually play it if it did do exactly as I said, and I think I would actually. Probably. I mean, I have lots of aspirations. Let's be honest. But I think I would be more likely to try a Monster Hunter style game. Or rather, sorry, a Souls-like game made by a Monster Hunter team with Monster Hunter, like a world and mechanics and stuff. If it had a different gameplay loop, I would probably be more inclined to play that than, say, Elden Ring or a new Dark Souls game. I enjoyed Dark Souls 1 and 2.
World better, right?
Yeah, I want to explore the world, and I want to do it in kind of a more, I don't know how I would go about it. It'd be really, it'd be sweet is if there was some sort of crossover game between Monster Hunter and like get the guy behind Dark Souls to like collaborate, and yeah, I think that'd be sick.
Ooh, Capcom and Bamco, huh?
Ooh, man.
I mean, it's not like they've never collabed before.
Yeah.
In their fighting games, there's Capcom X Namco. That's literally a thing that they have done in the past. Yeah.
Capco.
Capco.
Mm.
All right. Well, you know what? Capcom didn't just, swing wildly with one single game. No, they came out with a couple. This next one is also Capcom. It's part of the efforts to remaster games for modern platform. Capcom announced that they will be remastering Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Now, that's not exactly news because they had talked about that 2 weeks ago, but what is new is a trailer because they never showed us what it was going to look like until now. Let's take a look.
All right. Let's check it out. Yeah. It's Samanosuke!
I will say that Onimusha 2 is the
1560.
is the one that I thought was the weakest of the series personally.
Well,
So I'm not
I
sure
mean,
why they choose to remaster this one.
It's
and
because
not
they already did the
original.
first one.
Oh, is that why? I didn't
Yeah.
even know they remastered.
Oh
the
yeah, it's been
original.
like 5 years, but yeah, they remastered
Oh,
Onimusha
maybe
1
that's
already.
why.
So then do Onimusha 2, and then 3 maybe,
I won't forgive you.
and then Onimusha Tactics.
Oh please God!
Did you not play Onimusha Tactics or didn't like it, or
I didn't know. It was
Oh.
so clunky.
was it? Yeah, it looked cool. I liked the pixel
sure.
art, and I wanted to try it, but
I mean, what was another game that I really wanted to love it, and it was just extra clunky.
maybe Capcom should just not do tactics games.
Valkyrie Profile. The Valkyrie Profile tactic game. Oh my
Uh-huh.
god, it's so clunky.
Suikoden Tactics was also pretty clunky, but
You know,
that's
like,
okay. Yeah.
For a game that is like slow and methodical already, you can make it slower.
So
And
this
I'm
game
just like,
is cool. I liked Onimusha 2. It felt less clunky than the original Onimusha. It felt a little more faster paced. Not a whole lot more. It's still tank controls, I think.
Wouldn't it be great?
But
Peace.
but it's still, oh man. I will say though, as far as remasters go, that still looks like a PlayStation 2 game. Totally. It's very faithful. Oh, look at these got like extra nipple decals on his armor. That's cool.
oh yeah, that's
I like how
That's
some
why they
armors
spent all
actually
their
draw
budget on.
attention. You ever notice that? Some actual real armors have like nipples built into them.
yeah.
And it's like, man, they really wanted to draw attention to that, huh?
I mean, it's to
interesting.
distract enemies in the battlefield.
Demons.
Well, why don't they
can't
do it for
help
the
but
women?
look.
Surface.
Why doesn't she have you know, that kind of armor? That would be
Because
especially
she's
distracting.
a ninja. She's not supposed to draw attention.
Oh, you're right.
Yes. God, Derek.
I thought we were just going for historical accuracy. Is all.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Onimusha
I'm just
is
saying
going for.
it would be. I mean, we have seen the various other documentary video games based on samurais fighting zombies.
Oh,
Right?
no.
Do you not remember? Oh yeah.
Well,
let's just say
that one,
Edo period Japan had a zombie problem. Is that too much to say? Is that too much? I don't want to like draw any.
zombie problems.
Lots of people are saying it. Believe me, they had the
Oh,
best
no.
zombies.
The best zombies.
Yep.
Anyways, I think folks from outside of the states don't know what you're going for. They may not be exposed enough. To
I'm just saying
understand
Facebook
their
doesn't fact check anything anymore, so I'm just saying that the Edo period Japan had a lot of zombies, and it was a very sad state of affairs.
Yes,
And then
very sad.
you know, it's all right. It's all right. Let's move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
By the way, this game is coming out in May 23rd. It will be released on, interestingly, this is actually interesting. They're releasing on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. But PS5 and Xbox Series are surprisingly missing. I'm like, why?
Well, I
Are
mean,
they
they're
not-
again, I think this is similar to a discussion we had not too long ago. And I think it's because you don't have to have a PS5 native version. It's PS4 is
yeah.
it's backwards compatible.
I keep forgetting that you can play a PS4 digital game on PS5 anyway.
And
So it doesn't
and
matter.
honestly, like the PS4 could do it in 4K anyway. It's a PS2 remaster, so you really don't need like what would a native PS5 version do? Not a whole lot, but maybe increase the number of like variants that you have to produce in order to, like, if you did do a
Yeah,
physical
yeah.
release. So yeah, like some people would
Yeah.
probably want a PS5 version, but I
I
don't.
completely forgot about that. I
Yeah,
was like, what? Why?
yeah.
But anyway,
So I think
that
that's
explains
it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
to further prove what a disaster Edo period Japan was, Onimusha fans have another game, another documentary in this series to look forward to, because we have a new trailer now for the Onimusha reboot game that is coming out in 2026, and that is called Onimusha Way of the Sword. So we know so far that the game will take place in Kyoto during the Edo period. Where the protagonist will be fighting against hordes of monsters and zombies known as Genma.
Yeah, they're
So,
not zombies, they're Genma.
well, I mean, okay. Zombie, tomato, Genma,
Yeah.
tomato, potato.
Technically,
It's-
if we want to say technicalities,
They're, let's just say, I mean, they're both fruits.
Yes.
And they're both on the food umbrella pyramid, rather. Sorry, I had to use the exact terms. Accuracy matters. So let's pull up the trailer for it.
Yeah, we're not on Facebook, Eric. We're on YouTube. That also does not fact check what we say. I actually haven't watched this. I saw the beginning. I knew what it was about. I skipped it so that I can watch it now.
Yeah, I didn't skip it, but oh man.
Love the sound design so far.
Yep.
Of course. Oh, there's the zombie.
There it is.
Zombie samurais, yo.
Oh man, that's a Cyclops zombie. Did you see that? It had one eye.
Miyamoto Musashi.
Wait, that's Musashi Miyamoto?
Did you not see
The
name?
Book of Five Rings guy?
Yes.
But he only has one sword.
No, he has two swords. The one
Does he?
one of them is in the. One of them is shelf. Hold on. Let's go back real quick.
Okay, all right. I missed it.
Look.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
I
he
know
has
that
another sword.
some pedants
See that?
out there will use this as an opportunity to say that Musashi Miyamoto never did in fact use two swords at the same time. He just is famous for saying that he who falls in battle with one sword left undrawn is, squandering his self, basically. Is losing is basically saying don't fail without exhausting all of your options. That's the point of what he's trying to say, not literally that he uses two swords in
It was
combat.
actually the Onigan that he uses. That's the other sword.
That's
the two
pretty
sword
cool
right
though.
there.
Yep. Historically inaccurate, but still pretty dang cool.
You know what I really do?
Way
like,
of the
though?
sword.
They got the smugness in him. I like it.
Oh yeah. He's notoriously very smug.
Yes, Musashi is notoriously
No,
smug.
listen to this. Did you hear that? Go back.
No.
Go back
to what?
10 seconds. When he's talking to his gauntlet. Listen.
Okay.
I'm glad you're unharmed.
Who? What?
What?
Why did he have a British accent?
Why not?
I guess it's probably because to give him a Japanese accent would probably be, I don't know.
No, because the gauntlet speaks in Kansai Ben.
Is that right?
No, probably not. No, I think British tends to be like proper and posh. So in the Japanese version, the gauntlet is probably speaking in like Keigo only and like very polite and very proper.
Probably.
So the translation
Did-
to English is usually to find British actors.
To you, do you feel like it was presenting sort of like a digitized sounding voice, or was that just kind of like a resonance that was coming through?
Are you trying to throw some conspiracy theories in there to say that this is actually some alien tech?
Maybe. 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 I don't know.
I could be. It could be. That would explain the British.
I'm just saying. Aliens.
All I'm saying is
ancient aliens. I'm not making any wide sweeping statements about aliens being a problem in Japan. They didn't have a wall.
Mm-hmm. Aliens and zombies, man, like they kind of come hand in hand. Where do you think zombies came from? What's the damn?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you nailed it.
Yo, my God.
Anyway, this game is coming out sometime in 2026 for PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and to PC via Steam as well. Yes. Man, that game is going to be so much fun to watch somebody else play it. I really like the Onimusha series. I'll think about it. It's technically it's a horror game, so maybe
horror. Really?
I mean,
that's horror.
It's got roots in Resident Evil.
Yeah, and they rooted away from horror.
I mean, the reboot might re-embrace it. I don't know. I mean, hey, Capcom's been doing some really good horror stuff, haven't they? I mean, sure, it's got some action, but I mean,
yeah.
How do you do zombies without some horror elements, right?
Well, speaking of games with strong roots, Konami is back. Can you believe it? After giving, and speaking of horror games, speaking of all this, after giving us the critically acclaimed Silent Hill 2, the next major title will be Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Oh my God. Konami is so back right now. And I am cautiously optimistic, right? Because Silent Hill 2 did exceedingly well, exceeding anybody's expectations, even exceeding the developers' expectation of how well it did, how polished of a game it is. Could they bounce back? Well, they need to develop some kind of trend, right? They need to bring their reputation back. And one game isn't enough. One game could be just, what's the word? It could just be I
what's
see.
The
word kind of I'm going for here?
A fart in the wind.
Yeah, sure.
Just one game does not a pattern make.
Yeah, it could just be like, you got lucky kind of deal.
Yeah,
right.
A fluke.
Yeah, but
yeah,
a fluke. There you go. That's the word I was going for.
Okay.
So, what could they be doing? Well, they did say that they're going to do Metal Gear. So if they can do this, that will help establish this trust with the gamers again and establish them as another great game developer or game publisher, rather, that can really hang with the boys again. So Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which for those who don't know, is actually the remake of the 2004 game Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. So let's take a look at the trailer.
All right, let's check it out.
Let's see what you can do, Konami. I mean, post Kojima Metal Gear. So I think after Kojima, they only made one other Metal Gear game, and that game was a complete disaster.
Oh yeah.
It was like an online multiplayer BS that they were trying to like.
It was a complete bastardization for sure.
Geez. Yeah. Like this is the first real Metal Gear.
Was it Phantom Pain? Or
no, Phantom Pain is
that was the last Kojima one, right?
Yeah. Metal Gear 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to do like a multiplayer thing.
Yeah, what was after?
I don't even know what it's called because quite honestly it's so horrendous that look, yeah, this guy's gonna die again by just turning off the system, man. Do you leave the system on for long enough that guy just dies on his own from old age? Did you know that?
What was that? I'm trying to find out the name of that game.
Oh.
Why'd you come back?
The sniper guy was the sniper guy in this game. So like You know how there are these like really fun bosses that they put in that have like interesting gameplay mechanics. The original
Yeah.
Metal Gear on PlayStation, you have like Psycho Mantis, and then he's gonna tell you what saves you have in your memory card and switching your controller. Like those are fun stuff.
Yeah.
The sniper in Snake Eater, if you go into the battle, and I forgot what you do, but you wait it out, basically. He just dies of old age. You don't have to fight him. But you can do it. You can fight the sniper. Like
It
the
was
ri-
Metal
the
Gear
normal
Solid
way.
Survive.
Is that what it's called?
That was what it was called.
Wow, that is like Snake versus Bomberman? What?
I know, right?
What? What?
Yeah, who
Snake
knows?
versus Bomberman?
But yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid Survive was so bad we don't even remember what it was called.
Yeah, I have better
Speaking-
usage of my memory
Yeah.
for things that are important.
Speaking of a fart in the wind, because that was there, it smelled bad, and it was forgotten quickly after.
Like that other game from Square Enix that I'm drawing blanks on. It's their attempt to make a Metal Gear.
Babylon
And
Fell.
No, Babylon Fell is a fail, but they try to tie the front mission universe into making this one, and it looked really promising, and it completely did not deliver, not even a little bit.
I
It
don't
was
recall
rough.
anymore.
Like the idea was great. They got the Metal Gear artist on board. You know, they hired him as a consultant. He did a bunch of things for them. They want to tie the front mission world into it. Maybe that will help reboot the front mission franchise. And everything sounded so good. And then the game came out, and it was a clunky mess that no one wanted to play at all. It was rough. So yeah, Snake Eater coming out in August 28th of this year on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam. So
Man.
a bunch of ways to play, and I am really looking forward to watching someone else play.
You know, man, Metal Gear Solid Survive was hell, but you know what else is hell? Us.
Tell me about it. Yes, we are hell.
Us is hell. After 2 years of delay, publisher Nacon and developer Rogue Factory have announced that they have finally, or will finally be releasing their third-person action-adventure game called Hell Is Us this year, with a release date. For those of you
Yes.
who are unaware, former Eidos Montreal director Jonathan Jacques Bellete, something.
It's French. I don't know.
I was gonna say, do you speak French? I only speak alternative French.
I speak the kind of French that I can't
Okay.
say on YouTube. Anyways,
Yeah, Jacques Bellete,
sure.
probably something like that.
Let's
Anyways,
go with that.
who was best known for his work on Deus Ex Human Revolution and Deus Ex Mankind Divided, is he's the creative director of Hell Is Us, and
Yes.
I think this game looks pretty dang sick.
Yeah, it explains why that atmosphere. Like, I'm like, this is not directed by like some nobody person. Like, I looked
Yeah.
into it. Oh,
Yeah.
would you look at that? Anyways, let's take a look.
yeah.
So this is kind of like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi, but also like kind of occulty
and exposes the fragile
game.
structure of
It's-
reality.
Interesting.
I have 1,000 questions.
Very interesting.
Why did you come back?
I stood in the home I was born in.
Yeah, you got a
In that moment.
drone.
I felt the connection.
You got like modern science stuff. But the guy also fights with a sword,
They're gone.
not a knife. A sword.
I mean, that makes it an RPG.
That makes it an RPG. And I'm sure there's gonna be fishing too.
Impossible. It's you.
It looks like something Kojima would do, honestly.
Must
This looks like a game that Kojima would make.
begun to uncover.
See, look at the sword.
Yeah.
Swords.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's more or less an action RPG. With like sci-fi elements, but also like horror elements. It's very interesting mix of genre. Hell is
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. That's
I
pretty cool.
am actually very interested in playing this one.
I'm less interested in it personally. I mean, for a variety of reasons, including just an aversion to horror stuff in general. But you know, for those of you who do want to play it, you'll be able to do so on the 4th of September this year on PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC games via Steam. That is, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure
no
Derek
lies,
just
no lies were told just now.
yeah, no lies were told. Other than the fact that he doesn't like horror, he loves horror, guys.
Oh, how
Just
dare
wanna
you.
note it. He loves
You
horror
s-
games.
You son of a. All right.
Yeah. So, speaking of low lies, haven't had enough of Lies of P and wanted more. Well, new, it's got you covered. They just announced a new prequel DLC expansion called Lies of P Overture, and it actually looks really good. Let's take a look real quick at this DLC expansion. DLC/expansion DLC.
All right. Let's check it out. Liza P. Overture?
Yeah,
I hardly know
Lies
her.
of P got it's just like really well received for a lot of different reasons. People really enjoyed it. Yeah, so
It
I
has an incredible ambiance and what's the word? Just the
You want to know the year?
the whole presentation
What a pleasure to
of
destroy
Liza
worthy
P.
the name.
and everything found within this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere is something else.
he dances.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you?
You're not the puppet I was
This is from a Korean
Who are
developer,
you?
which people may not know that. But this is actually a Korean developed game.
So it's a Korean action RPG, or
Yes.
Only because no one
or
else could.
Carp G for
Carp.
Lost that evil.
Carp.
Yep.
Carp G.
Carp G for
Carp
short.
G. Oh, look at that Omni Slash.
I guess that ties it in alongside like Stellar Blade as being another Carp G.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Korea makes all
Oh
kinds
no,
of
here's
good
Omni
Carp
Slash.
Gs.
Look at that Omni Slash.
Not again.
Nice.
If that's not Omni Slash, I don't know what is. I mean, hey, if it works, it works, man.
Yeah.
So this is coming out this summer, releasing on all supported platforms. You must have the base game to play because this is not a standalone game. This is the expansion, and it looks
Mhm.
really good.
It does. It really does.
I kind
So-
of want to get into this one. I
Yeah.
don't know. It makes me want to play it.
The fact that it's DLC though does preclude it from being able to have its own midnight launch, unfortunately.
Yes.
Which you might end up walking to if you were going to wait at outside a GameStop or something. So if you're looking for another way to get yourself a midnight walk, well, there's this dark adventure game that we talked about some time ago, and now we have a firm release date for it, and it is called The Midnight Walk. And this is made with real clay, and it's animated in a stop motion style, and oh man, this was a showstopper for me. I don't even know. It looks so
I just
good.
figured Derek likes these
And-
kind of like art stuff, so I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's throw that in
It
there.
definitely gives me some of the Tim Burton feels, the Tim Burton kind of claymation feels. So let's check
Yes.
it out. Any idea if he's actually involved in this? I mean, I suppose the trailer would
no
say.
idea. I think it's just inspired by his works.
It has to be inspired at the least.
The burnt one woke from a deep slumber.
I think I will play this.
Yeah. This has to be an incredible, like this has to be like a look at him. That's definitely like the mayor straight out of Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Like 100% inspired, if not directly riffing. So,
This game's gorgeous.
right? Yeah, this would be a good Halloween
clay.
game. This would be so great for Halloween. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I might have seen that this is actually going to be a VR game.
It can be a VR game.
Yes. That's
So
the way I meant to
you-
phrase that.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't.
I think
you
it's coming.
can- Yeah.
It's coming to PS5, so you can play it on PSVR 2. And
Yes, you can play on PSVR 2 and Oculus
Steam,
or
yeah.
Steam. Yep.
Yep. Oh, May 8. Yep.
Ooh, yep. There you
Oh.
go. See, Steam
Oh,
VR.
man. I would
Yeah.
never play this
Exactly.
in VR though. I would probably.
But would you play it in general?
Yes.
That's already a step up.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's looks spooky, but that's like, I mean, the honestly, one of the things that stuck with me about the Kingdom Hearts games that I loved so much from them was when you got to go into the Nightmare Before Christmas areas. Oh, that was so cool. Being able to like just see extra. I'm a big Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, not that a huge fan, but like I enjoy it, and
You're a fan.
I enjoyed more of it when I was able to get it through those. So being able to play like a whole game around like that whole vibe. Oh
Yeah.
just put me there. Let me live there.
If only the rest of the games were more like that instead of like, I don't know, like just Mulan or something.
Mulan was such a cool thing though, but it wasn't very fun in Kingdom Hearts, to be fair. Anyways, yeah. So that's coming out for PC and Steam, or rather PC via Steam and PS5, and
Yes.
yeah, June was it June? No, May 5th.
May
8.
8th.
May 8.
Yeah. So not too far from now, actually.
Yeah.
It's only a couple of months. Yeah. Oh, a lot of games.
Time is
coming
flying,
out.
man.
I know. It's already February. It's already February's coming in. I mean, February is a short month, but it's already the middle of February, man.
I
It's
know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be the last game that we'll cover from the Sony State of Play. This is probably the biggest new announcement from the State of Play to me, anyways. And I mean like new announcement, not like things that they have already talked about before. This is brand new. Developer Eclipse Glow Games just announced their first major title, a fantasy action adventure game called Tides of Annihilation that takes place in modern London with inspiration from Arthurian legend. So let's take a look at that trailer and see what I mean by, I think this is like the biggest thing.
You actually provided 2 trailers. Which do you want to watch?
Let's take a look at the first one.
Okay.
And look at the announced trailer first. The other trailer, we can kind of skip around a bit.
All right.
So we do have 2 trailers for you guys tonight. This is the announcement trailer, which is going to give you the general sense of what we're looking at. But then they also released a gameplay trailer that is a lot longer that we're not going to watch the whole thing. It's like 11 minutes long. So, you know, but we'll include it I should include it in the description.
You know what was so... Sorry, you know what's incredibly annoying as hell?
What?
It's the aura of the ground.
Is it okay? I don't know if it's... I don't think it's a... Okay, so I was watching this live in real time at this point in the game, and the trailer, because it was one of the last things. And I had chat open, and that was a mistake, really.
Oh,
to
no. Were they getting super like...
Oh,
This is the usual internet... This interneting?
yeah. They saw you know a lady protagonist, and they're just instantly dismissing the game. But like, what, dude? This looks sick.
I mean, if Stellar Blade teaches anything, it's that you can have an amazing experience with it.
As long as she's
If
half
Nier
naked.
Automata has taught us anything,
As long
is
as
that you can...
as long as they're
Go.
mostly naked, yeah, then you can get away with a lot.
You know, I won't argue that there is aesthetic points added to that, perhaps, but look, Nier
Look,
is an
you
amazing
can't
game
quite
just
make
because
out
she's
the
happy.
curvature. You can't make out the curvature of her bottom when she's standing still. So, therefore, Therefore, there's clearly a liberal agenda at play in this game.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that's just
You know,
why
when-
people got to be like that?
When the ladies are too hot, it is
table
a
is dead.
liberal agenda.
It
When the ladies are
exists
not
now.
hot enough, it is a liberal agenda. Just everything is a liberal agenda. It's like, oh my god, they're trying to show off like women who are
This-
not attractive. Oh, look at
This
them,
game,
equal opportunity.
Listen.
Liberals.
listen, this game looks incredible, regardless
It
of
does.
the bad takes that were showing up in YouTube chat during the live stream. This looks so sick. Okay, let's check out the rest, the gameplay.
Let's look at the gameplay trailer. And now I included this.
So this is actually, I think this might, is this the right one? It says demo announcement trailer.
gameplay review.
Oh, wait. Oh, yep, there we go. That's the right one. This one. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
so I included this because we've complained a lot about trailers not including gameplay.
Yes.
Well, they're like, you know what? Here's a gameplay trailer. This whole thing is just gameplay. So I don't want to
yes.
hear it, right? I'm like, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. I'm sorry. I'll back off. And quite honestly, I think this is the way to go. Instead of doing one trailer, do two. One trailer for all the cinematics, it's like kind of like
the hype trailer.
the hype trailer, and then give us the gameplay trailer too.
Give us
Show us
some meat to You got my
If you
attention,
can't,
and
yes.
now you have now that you have my attention, give me something
Mm-hmm.
so I can actually get excited.
yes.
Like,
If you
to
can't
get
mix
in-
the two in one,
First, get
Fine.
me excited. Second,
Yeah.
get me invested.
mm-hmm.
So you're in charge of skipping around here if you want to, but
Let's
This-
skip to we're doing the walk around, so this is sort of like the walk around. And
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, I just want to show you what the world generally looks like. But let's get to the part where we're fighting things, because this is a
because that's where things
RPG.
started to kind of get a little harder to follow, I thought, during combat, because they're like quick cuts, quick zooms. Let's make it look like a Transformer movie. This
There's
looks
going to be a lot of dashes. So it looks
This looks easier
like
to
an
follow.
action RPG that is not going to be.
I see there's some kind of lock-on mechanic. That's important. That's nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess this is not like a Souls kind of action, but more near like.
Yeah.
Very well. This is your own doing.
Faster, less methodical.
It looked like there's some element of methodic to it, but it's definitely not slow and weighty.
It's like a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Like you go from one end to another, and everything lies in between this, and anything outside is just unplayable.
Yeah.
Like to me, I think Souls is about as slow as it gets. It is very weighty, and it is very it is realistic in that
Monster
sense.
Hunter 2, I think, falls into that category. Or rather, Monster Hunter also falls into that category for me.
And then you have like the near things, which comes closer to hack and slash because it's just so fast and you can take some damage and you're not going to be punished for every mistake you make because it's so fast.
Honestly, with this speed, I feel like I've talked about Kingdom Hearts a lot recently, but the flow of this battle feels closer to that of maybe Kingdom Hearts 2-ish. Before it got so interrupted with Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 had a lot of interruptions from summons and things that just
Which is for better or for worse, right?
yeah, this one feels a bit more like classic PlayStation 2 action RPG. Like there's some dashing around, like dodge rolls and that kind of warping around, but not like the kind of like
Ooh,
Oh,
counter.
yeah.
Parry.
But I don't see a lot of like, oh, I hit this button and now I'm flashing around this. Well, there's a little bit of blink going on there, but
Yeah.
not as much like with some of the more modern Final Fantasies that when I look at it, it's just like hard to follow. Like,
Oh, stands. You have little stands come out. You see that?
Yeah.
Golden Knight.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
You'll regret that.
Mordred talks a lot.
Yeah, but at least it's not annoying banter.
That we know of.
I mean, not yet, I guess. It probably gets worse after you've tried fighting the boss 7, 8, 9 times.
I just like zone them out. Like I'm focused on killing you. Just like
Oh yeah, it's already rolling off the back of my head. Like I can't. It's not sinking in.
Watch your mouth. Face it.
Oh, you're playing as Gwendolyn.
Discarded pawn in this game. Damn you! I'm
Damn you.
Pendragon. No one can cast me aside ever.
And this allegedly takes place in modern London.
Yeah, well.
I mean, they've
something
taken some
happened.
liberties.
Yeah. Well, it's modern London, and then something happened, and this is what happened after that something happened.
I'm curious about what part of modern London will be seen or how it interacts with the story the game tells. Like, why not just say, oh yeah, it's medieval London or whatever?
Well, no,
what
I mean,
about
you
it?
literally saw like
Certain
drawbridges and stuff,
Sure.
like modern Big Ben in the background.
But yeah, as a backdrop. But I'm like, what narrative element makes that important to the story?
I mean, could be like a world clashing situation, you know?
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not asking for answers right now. I'm just like, oh, this has
yeah,
piqued
I'm
my
interested in
curiosity.
finding out too. Yeah.
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 And that
So
looks
there you go. That is Ties of Annihilation. There is no release time frame as of yet, but it is currently being developed for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
from what I've seen, I mean, who knows how far in through development it is, but it already has substantial amount of voice acting. And that's usually, I feel like, as far as development goes, that's one of the latter things that they start adding in. So I don't know.
Be sooner rather than later, which I would welcome, honestly.
Yeah. So that wraps up the Sony State of Play.
Yes.
But we have some other things that were also announced that we should probably also talk about, including this one. It's called Aethermancer. It's a new monster taming roguelite from the makers of Monster Sanctuary. Yeah, and I don't know anything about it, actually. I've never heard of it before. So
Indie games, let's go.
Let's check it out. Oh man, what?
It's got a little bit of that Valkyrie profile feel, with like the diamond panels of characters. I don't know if that's how they are played necessarily.
Whoa.
So there is like this, like, I don't want to say isometric, but well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Kind of view.
Oh, well, I
You
mean,
dash in, you start a battle.
it's regardless of whatever name you want to throw on it, this is beautiful pixel art. Holy cow. Oh, you know,
Someone brought
earlier
this to
when
my
I
attention
said
on
who needs pixels, I'm gonna need a fork to eat those words, because holy cow, man. Oh
pixels aren't dead yet.
no, they certainly aren't. Well,
Get it? Dead pixels. Anyways, no, someone brought this to my attention in my Discord server, and they're like, "Oh yeah, check out this game." I was like, "Oh, snap!" Like I didn't see this in other publications, but you know
No.
what? Sometimes, guys, the unsung hero are people in my Discord sometimes, because as much as I try to check all the different publications and stuff, not all the publications captures indie games. I mean, they capture all the major company releases, of course, but some of these really nice looking indies, they don't necessarily cover it all the time, or not all of them do, and you have to really go through distance to even get a hold of this.
God, I was so entranced by the pixel art that I didn't even notice the trailer had ended. Oh my
Yeah,
God, that game.
unfortunately, yeah. Well, unfortunately, there's no release time frame yet, but this is being developed for PC, and the demo is available now on Steam. So if you want to stare at the pixel art some more, you can just download the demo.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Isn't that
Wow.
nice?
Oh, that's super nice. Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, man. That
Well,
that gets the blood pumping.
you just really like good pixel art, huh?
I'm a bit of a pixel simp, I
Pixel
guess.
snob.
Yes.
Is that a thing?
I see good pixels and I'm just like, yes, please, and more. I
Those
mean,
are good pixels.
I know. Unfortunately, I already used up all my innuendo in my Valentine's Day video, but that's. I mean, I'm gonna need to adjust my quota. That's.
You should.
Valentine's Day next year. Let's make a date.
All right. Speaking of pixels, next up we've got another pixel game. I wonder if this would be to your liking. This is a little different. It's a HoloLive fan game again, and of course I would bring this up. This time it is a high-speed pixel action game called, and it's a long name, so bear with me. FUBUKI Zero In on Holoearth HoloLive Alternative. Why does it have to be so freaking long? Why does the name have to be so long?
I don't know.
It's from developer Pebblesoft. That will feature Shiragami FUBUKI as the protagonist. The game will be voiced in Japanese. However, the interface and subtitles will be available for English and Chinese if you prefer to play in that. So let's take a look at this trailer.
Okay.
See if the pixel art passes Derek's filter.
All right. Well, we'll see if it, gets the same kind of rise out of me.
This is the kind of game that will ruin my thumb because it looks so freaking fast.
Yeah.
Like Mega Man, but a lot faster. They like making games like those.
It's just the thumb destroyers.
Yes, thumb destroyers. Like super high speed, no room for error battles.
I mean, the animation here looks good, but I gotta hand it to the pixel crew of the previous game. It's nice.
Oh, it's no competition.
It's nice, but it's
not getting your blood pumping.
No, I mean not in that same way. At least it's definitely.
Which way?
I told you I'm out of innuendo for the day, so. So yeah, let's
Yeah, I will have to destroy my thumb over this one. I have no choice. I am obligated to play this on Steam, on stream. So
it looks like that's just too much. I don't know, too much action for me. I'm better at the slow paced stuff, man. I'm like an old dog. I see a car go down the road, and I'm like, man, if that car were just a little bit slower. I could probably
let's see if this next one is more to your liking, because it's a different style, but it's a style that I think you would appreciate.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, let's see. Maybe make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Here we go. Okay. So, developer Meteor Magic Games have announced a new low poly Metroidvania action platformer called AEROMACHINA. As you may have guessed from the low poly description, this game was inspired by the PlayStation 1 era of games, and we've got this trailer for it right here.
Bam, let's go.
Let's go.
Like, if you told me this game came out in like the PS1, 2 era, like 2 era, I would probably believe you.
I am all for this resurgence of like the
low poly
32-bit era, low poly kind of era of games.
I mean, it's definitely way smoother than games from.
Yeah, there's too
those
many frames
days,
here.
but yeah, but
If you can make that run at like 15
the
frames per
style
second,
is- yeah, just
Yeah,
just
that'd be
drop
so
the
good.
frame rate on purpose.
although that doesn't look very much like an RPG to me, Mr. Baku, it still looks really cool.
Yeah, no, this is definitely
Yeah,
RPG.
I
It's
know.
a Metroidvania game, but I wanted to show it off because I think it looks really cool, and I think people need to know about these games.
Yeah, I that's totally worth doing. Yeah, so that game, by the way, is well, we don't know when it's coming out. It is being developed for PC as of right now.
Yeah.
If it comes out on other platforms, whenever I mention that like an indie is making a game for PC, and a lot of people are like, "Oh man, I hope it comes to console," or "Is it coming to console?" The answer is usually no, because even getting like a dev kit for Switch costs several $1,000s, I'm sure, and that's money that most devs who are just kind of playing it by ear, doing it themselves, if unless you have like a really successful Kickstarter, it's really hard to even think about that stage. So
Or if you're like a seasoned indie dev that like has access to these somehow,
Yeah.
it's possible, but unlikely.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently like you have to, before you can even release a game on Nintendo Switch, you have to have previously released a game elsewhere. So yeah, first timers are not
right?
allowed. Yeah, like I mean,
What?
you can technically, but you have to be like an approved developer first.
But there's so many garbage game on the Switch. What is going on? Nintendo has like no quality control. Like there was this-
Publishers have sort of a way around some of that, I think. And so if you have someone who's a little more nefarious of a publisher, then you can kind of side skirt some of that. But
yeah, there was the game on the Switch, and I kid you not, because I was looking up something for
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story. I was looking up something for a game that we talked about recently, which was shoot, what is it called? Goblin Slayer. Remember how we talked about the Goblin Slayer tactical RPG from some time ago
yes,
with the
yes,
pixel
I
art?
do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I got a key for it, and someone had mentioned that there is a DLC for it. So I looked online and I couldn't find the DLC. So I thought maybe the game is so niche that the DLC is not like news is not available.
Yeah.
So I tried looking into the Switch store directly because I got the game on the Switch.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, where's this DLC? And supposedly, according to trusted sources too, by the way,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be like a DLC for like a character from the game. So I'm like, oh, I'm looking into it. I want to see if
Or from
what
the
it looks
anime.
like, etc. Yeah, oh, anything. So I was looking in, and I instead I couldn't find a DLC, but what I did find in the Switch store was a blatant Demon Slayer knockoff game that is basically like a lewd puzzle solver. I don't like, oh, there's a picture, and then you have to play this little game, and then as you play the game, the picture slowly reviews itself into like a lewd scene.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you look at it, and I'm just like, this is blatant copy of the Sword Maiden from Demon Slayer. I mean, not Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely not like an official game from, the rights holder, which is I don't think it's Kadokawa.
Yeah.
So I'm like, really? The Nintendo is allowing these kind of like garbage in their. What happened to the Nintendo quality, like seal quality? Like, I
That's
know that you
done
don't have
and
that seal
dusted.
anymore,
Yeah.
but like at least some level of, I guess ever since the Wii days, they just like stopped giving a dang, right? Like they just don't care anymore.
I think it went away during GameCube era. Actually, I think
Yeah.
I think that I could be mistaken, but I think that the seal of quality has gone through a few different iterations over time, and I think that at one point it stopped even guaranteeing or ensuring the quality of games. Like,
Yeah.
it was just eventually just the Nintendo seal of they paid us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, I'm not looking for them to be like a quality like police, but come on, this is like a blatant like IP thief.
Yeah.
And you're allowing them to post this game on your game store. Like, what does that say about you, right? Like,
It
could
says
be a
that they don't
bad
have very
game.
rigorous review processes in place. When
Right.
meanwhile, other indie developers, bringing us full circle, like just can't even bring a game on there if they tried, despite like pouring their heart and soul into it for
Yeah.
you know,
Which is
however no.
That's the ridiculous part.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, so sorry, didn't mean to get into a downer here, but just to bring you guys awareness if you didn't know, like that whole thing with Nintendo quality, that's like not really a thing, but they have the reputation still. Well, that reputation doesn't really hold, and it's
Yeah.
disappointing. Anywho, here, this is the game that's not going to disappoint us, hopefully, I think, because I am super excited. This is probably the most exciting thing to come out. Even after all those cool games we saw, right? We saw a bunch of cool games, but this one is the thing that excites me the most as far as like the new announcements are concerned. And this last game here that we have for the evening is an ambitious indie title. It's a 3D action RPG title from a developer Aussie Games.
Yeah.
That's set to be inspired by traditional Bornean mythology. Bornean.
Like,
do you know what Bornean is? Because I didn't.
From like Burma? No. Where? No.
I mean, it's
Bornean.
near. It's kind of near that area. So tell you what, why don't we take a look at the trailer and I'll tell you a little bit about what I learned.
All right. Yeah.
I had to research this one. The game is called Buramato.
Okay. I was gonna say there's no audio, but I don't think there's supposed to be yet. Oh, there it is.
There will be audio. Yeah. Yeah. So this game looks really good. So just to give you guys some background, Aussie Games is a developer from Indonesia.
Okay.
And Bornean mythology is actually referring to the island of Borneo.
Borneo? Yeah. I've heard of Borneo in passing, but it's been ages.
So this is based on their local folklore, which I think is incredible. And also it's got like instrumentations and, you know, music design from like more local composition.
You said this is an indie?
Yes. This is an indie title. They've made a couple games, but like nothing this ambitious. This is by far the most ambitious title that they're taking on. I've researched the company a little bit.
Yeah. That's very pretty.
Yeah. And yes, it's got some of that Breath of the Wild kind of look.
I mean, yeah. Flip a coin.
We'll love it.
A lot of games released ever since kind of are just going to look that way. Because it happens to be a visual style that's, at this point, it's got a proven track record. It runs well on low-end hardware.
Yeah.
Oh, but they have some other style here that's just coming through, and I like it.
Yeah. So hopefully you understand why I was like so intrigued by this.
Yes.
Yeah, I love games that are, I mean, I love Japanese games and I like games in the States, but I also like seeing games from like places that you don't necessarily expect games to come from, much less something that looks this good. And to top it off, to sort of like teach you about their culture through gameplay. And it's not going to be like perfect. It's like Valkyrie Profile. Like, you know what? Valkyrie Profile came out on PlayStation 1. I was in high school at the time. Actually, I was in middle school. And I played it. And it, although like it took a lot of liberty in, you know, Norse mythology, it got me to read about Norse mythology.
Yeah.
like I was reading about it myself because I'm like, oh, who is this Odin character? You know, like who is Thor? Like I read through it. So, you know, like this could be like a gateway. You know, they could take a lot of liberty in their like local mythology, but hey, I didn't even know what Borneo was until I saw this game and they were like, oh, it's Borneo mythology. I was like, what is that? It got me to look. Right,
guys, go learn about it. Wishlist that right now. There's a link in the description already if you want to check it out. That's
Buramato.
That's cool. Actually, I'm gonna go wishlist it right now. Hang on a second. I'm doing it right now. Stop the show. Already. So while I do this, you guys also go there and look it up. Buramato.
Yeah, it's just
Buramato. There it is. Oh man, and let's see. Add to your wish list. Log in.
Well, you can't wish list if you don't, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'll just open up Steam. I'm not used to actually having Steam installed, but it's installed for me right now, so maybe I'll just do it through there. Okay, store. You know,
I need to join the Discord server is what I need to do, and I don't know, maybe we can pull them into
wish listed. There we go. All right, done and dusted. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Let's see if I can.
Man, that's cool. That is so cool. So yeah, again, it's an indie game, so not coming to console anytime soon. We just kind of touched on that, but man, this game would absolutely run on a Nintendo Switch. Probably even a Super Nintendo Switch. I'm sticking to it. You heard it here. Just kidding. Maybe, we don't have to. But you know what I will do is I will switch us over though to our comments from last week's episode. Yeah. So yeah, we actually have a few comments set aside here. So let's see. This one comes from 3 Words Sama, who says, glad I got the opportunity to back Godshard Chronicles. Looking forward to the final product. I missed it on Kickstarter when they were kickstarting it. I should have. Or is it still live? It might still. What?
No, it's
that's right. There's the they have another thing that they have called like the backer
kit.
Backer kit? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I think there was one called Slacker Backer, but I don't think that's it. So backer kit. Yeah. I think I could still, maybe I will. I'll look into it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll give the 3 Word Summa. If you're listening, go check out the backer kit. But if you are not aware of what that is, maybe we'll give you a link later. You know, so I did pick that comment out because, you know, that just kind of summarizes what a lot of people feel. But there were a lot of comments about Godshard Chronicle in general, which is why I was like, we'll geek out about it later.
It was such a good interview. Oh man,
it was.
It went so well, and the game looks so incredible.
So I'm really looking forward to not only this game, but also to do more interviews, which we will talk about later. So stick around. We're not quite done yet with the show. But there were a lot of comments about Godshard Chronicles. Thank you guys for being so warm and welcoming to this project. And you know, giving a lot of feedback and you know, how you feel about the game and whatnot. It's mostly positive. Actually, it's entirely positive. And so we are all sort of looking forward to this one. As a matter of fact, the next comment about the interview from Local Rules. Hi guys, I'd love this kind of interview. I backed this game when it came up in Kickstarter. It looks awesome. So there you go. That's the guy who's rubbing it in right after. He's like, oh yeah, I backed the game when it came on Kickstarter.
I know.
Okay, I'm sure this is not what Local Rules sounds like. Right? That's just me. But thank you for watching the interview. We do have more interviews coming up. Should we tell people what interviews we're doing? I mean, it's next week.
I mean, I think next week it'd be a good idea. Let's maybe tell people who it is. And like what game we're let's just tease the game. What's the game that we're interviewing for next week?
Yes, it's none other than Alterium Shift, which I've actually played on my channel, and I QA'd it, and the dev came by, and it's a grand old time. I love playing some of these like pre-release games on Steam because the developers come by and they're like, oh, yeah, oh wait, we never noticed a bug like that before. One of the best compliment that I've gotten from game developers when I play games like this personally is when they say, we have never seen anyone play this game like you. We've never seen, out of all the test players that we've had, we've gone to many conventions, hundreds, if not thousands of people have played the game. No one played it like you. You're weird. And I'm like, well, that is a badge of honor. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I just get complimented for being so thorough sometimes when I submit my bugs for a review.
Bug reports. They love us for that.
Well, I mean, because I do that for my job. So I'm like, here's how I did it. Here's everything that I had going on at the time. Here's how to replicate.
Oh, that's why. It's like, you're a pro. They didn't know that, but they.
I mean, that's not exclusively what I do, but it is one of my responsibilities at my day job. So
yeah. Well, look forward to more interviews next week, guys. Next Sunday, regular time this time, because
that's right.
The folks at Dratsy's game is actually based in Central Time, where Derek is.
Wow! Oh my gosh! So a Central Time developer?
Central Time.
Wow! There's nobody here in Central Time. It's just man. That's crazy. Just a bunch of land and
the
cows.
Great state of Texas, so there's that. There's plenty of people there.
Well, speaking of Texas, Eagle Knight says, I am ashamed to admit I was missed HitPoint last week because I was watching some Foosball game. He said, I must repent for watching 10-day-old episodes now. 10 old episodes, not 10-day-old. Wow,
yes,
10 old episodes.
Yes.
Wow, that's quite a penance to serve, and I hope that you survive it well, Eagle. But I do understand, and that is the standard going rate, I think, for people who are watching the foosball game. So, if you feel like, giving us a boost, or if you feel like giving us a review on one of the few, or rather many streaming platforms out there, podcasting platforms where you might be enjoying this podcast on, we would really appreciate it, whether it's just a thumbs up down below, or a full-on review over on Amazon, Amazon Music, or Apple Podcasts. It's been a little bit since we got an Apple Podcasts review, and it'd be really nice to see another one crop up there. It'd be pretty dang cool.
But on Audible? We should be on Audible. Let's get on Audible.
Audible? I think that's just Amazon podcasts. I think we're on Audible. I think it's all tied together. I think so.
All tied together. We're on Audible, guys.
I think so. Yeah. We're also on Spotify and basically everything, really. And we even have an RSS feed for those of you. You didn't know? Yes. Yes. We're cool.
I have not heard of an RSS feed in so long.
Hey, there are some people who use them. And those people really appreciate having the RSS feed option.
I believe it, but man, that is something I have not messed around with in so long. Wow. Yeah.
So wow. if you're not sure how to get to those things, in the description, the show description here, on YouTube, there's a link to superderekrpgs.com/hitpoint that has a link to so many other options. So many options, and yeah, it's cool. So thanks again for joining us, everybody.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure to stream for you all, and we'll see you guys next week with our full deep dive interview. And by the way, if anybody wants to ask any specific questions to the guys at Alterium Shift, throw them down in the comments and I'll find them. It'll be awesome. And we can ask Ben. So, anyways, have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.